Will be the part 2 of the title previous to this video, The Difference. So we were talking about how there's a difference between the karmic and the high priestess, okay? Someone who falls at the divine masculine's foot. But there's also, in the high priestess position, in the high priestess defense, where when she's in reverse, do we know what that means? It means that she has denial, self-denial. If she rules the subconscious mind, what good do her powers do if she doesn't believe in herself? Disbelief comes from and stems from the mind. So the high priestess upright is someone who utilizes her powers, keeps the secrets and her own charmed book at bay, because there's certain things that people don't need to know until they come to you and they're ready to hear that, or they're ready to know the next step. Only certain gates, you only find the key when it's time. Okay. In reverse, though, and much more, go study the high priestess. I'll actually put a link below for where I think it will really help you into understanding the high priestess, tarot definitions. I'll put that link below. And go ahead and study the whole tarot deck of that. I believe there's like 78 cards or so. But anyway, upright, the divine feminine, is a ruler of the subconscious mind. I like to call her a soul keeper. I like to put her on a pedestal of where people go to pray at night, even if you don't go into the church or to the realm or what have you. You appear in the realm. I mean, when you pray, this is someone who is extremely powerful. I would never say that right now in my personal journey, being Jasmine, that I am there yet. But I aspire to be that woman every day. Yes, I have karma. No, I cannot be a karmic partner, because for me and my beliefs, I will not put myself in just any relationship where I know that I will not be presenting myself as such, presenting myself up to a certain par. But enough about me specifically, about us, about everyone in this twin flame journey. Regardless if you believe you're a karmic partner or a divine feminine, do not stop yourself from becoming the high priestess. I like to say this as well. Divine feminine and high priestess, what's the difference? Merely the work, merely the effort, merely the position that you play, merely the lessons that you learn. I like to say this though, like once you're married to your divine masculine, or vice versa, right? Once you're married, I would like to talk to my grandchildren about the twin flame journey that I learned, that I went through. You can call that life lessons. You can call whatever you want to call that, but the twin flame journey, because the aspect is focused on the love, on the lessons, on the soul character of meeting your other soul partner, going through the hellfire, the crossfire, doing everything that you need to do to become the person you need to be. And a twin flame journey is when you believe that everything you need to be is surfaced, and you understand everything that you are because of another person, hence your other half. Okay, so when you're finally in that marriage and you finally have done that, I wouldn't call it a twin flame journey anymore. You've reached your destination. I can go on and on about that, but I would say the difference is when you were married and when you were not, when you were in your when you were in your adolescence or whatever, versus when you have your grandchildren and you're telling them about the story when you met the love of your life. You know what I'm saying? It's reaching a completion. We all are the high priestess because we all have a journey. Even karmic partners have high priestess blood. We all have that aspect. Some of us choose to go different ways and different paths of this. Some of us even choose not to be in our spirituality and are still on this journey. We come from all different aspects, all different places of the world. But what I want to say is, do not come from your life and your path and your karma that you've had since you were a child, or however that works, right? Don't come crawling. When you realize that you're crawling is when you realize your karma, when you realize problems. It's only you can only fix it when you have pinpointed the problem, right? When you can see it, feel it, taste it. Don't stay Don't stay knelt. I don't even know. Don't stay on the ground. Don't stay on your knees when you realize you're on your knees. That's what I'm trying to help us do. Because I have nothing against a karmic partner. I have nothing against anyone. I don't. I want to learn right along with you. I said this in the very beginning, since the very beginning. This is why I opened up my channel. I want to learn. I want to grow. I am stuck right here with you. You know what I'm saying? And I fear to even say that, because I never want to be stuck. That's my prerogative. That's where I'm at. I don't want to be stuck. And I don't want to keep anyone stuck either. I will tell you like it is. I will tell you both face to your face exactly, what's going on. Thank God for my Scorpio. And we are going to move from there, period. Now, again, I want to go back into the high priestess. We are all liable for sin. We are all liable for lust. We are all liable to be turned upside down like the high priestess does. We are all liable to forget our human nature, to forget our purpose. The high priestess is here for her specific task. What good is she in reverse if her main goal and focus is the subconscious mind when she's confused in her own and doesn't believe her own beliefs? Again, I'll put the link down there. So sometimes, regardless if we're the empress, regardless if we're the high priestess, whichever stage we are in our lives, in our journeys, we are all susceptible to be on our knees at some point. But the point is to get up. The point is to understand our power, get closer to sitting in that chair. We all want to be the high priestess. I mean, put some respect on her name. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm not gonna, I like to know that I'm the high priestess. And there are times in my days in my life where I'm just like, whoa, that day was powerful. Like, I didn't even, fall to my knees once. You know what I'm saying? But once you realize that you are worshiping a man, you're not even to be worshiping your children. People who of Christ, people who read the Bible know that that's a sin, and that is stated in the Bible. I'll go ahead and try to figure out where too. But that's a verse in the Bible. You're not to worship your kids. You're not to worship, anyone but the Lord. But anyway, what I'm saying is worshiping, period, another human being takes so much out of you. How would you put all of your faith into someone where you need to find your own faith? Remember, the high priestess and the hierophant are faithful people. They're spiritual. They're in the church. They're in the cathedral. Whatever. I'll put the link down below, and you go make it your own, where they sit, where they stand, where we come to when we need them. But if you were to be a counterpart to the hierophant or the high priestess, there's a certain stature that you need to uphold. You don't come crawling on your knee to your man. There's so many aspects you can look at that, but if we're looking at the right one, ladies and gentlemen, we are not confused, nor are we on our knees. When I realized that I was even crawling, that's not sexy. That's not cute. I don't want to do that. And when I realized that I had a conviction to change that, I did. I will not be anyone's dummy. I will not be anyone's rebound, mistress, anything of that sort. And I am so eager to know who it really is at the end of the day who is for me. I am not going to go into my deep conversation. You can email me if you would like to know about my journey, and then you will be able to share yours. We can conversate. We can converse. But I am looking to sit in my throne. Another thing that you have to understand about the high priestess is, in her definition, is she sits alone. She sits in her own temple. You know what I'm saying? She is to have people come to her and bow down to her. This means, in a modern day spiel, that there are many people, for an example, for me being a Scorpio, that I can manipulate, right? Or that I can put my evil do on, and step on, not that I do that, but there's a bad rep that Scorpios get for sure. I can put my bad rep, and I can, sprinkle my fairy dust on somebody and make them fly, and make a mock of them, whatever the hell. But that person who became my victim was not somebody that was going to become part of my success. Not in the twin flame journey. And yes, very well can. You want to hear the upside to that? Is if you get off your goddamn knees. But if you never do, well, you know what I'm trying to tell you? So do you see the harm in that? Like I said, we all have high priestess blood, but we all have karmic blood as well. And anybody that we're with in that depth of, I God well want to say penetration, can be karmic. I'm not telling you that every relationship you get in that there's love, there's going to be hell. But isn't that life? Isn't that the way it goes? But the reason why some of us are so fucking frustrated with this twin flame journey is because this is our other half, is why we are like bound to live it over and over and over and over. It is our salvation. It is our redemption. You don't have to be so spiritual. Know the truth. Why can't you meet up with your divine masculine or divine feminine? Why can't you finally be in union? Why can't you, see the day where you're going to be able to tell your grandchildren the story of your twin flame journey and now you're married? That's a question for yourself. Period. Now we're going to talk about the Hierophant. Sometimes you can be very blinded in love. You can be very blinded in this twin flame journey because it's all about challenges for yourself. On guard. But, we like to believe that he doesn't know shit. In the very beginning, I was telling you, he may have known more than you did back then. He's a boy. He was raised by a mother. He knows what mother's love and the real love feels like. He knows what it's like. There's a lot of variables in that. But I always said in the beginning of my making this channel, he knew a lot. Believe me. If you didn't put two and two together, well, maybe you are today. He knew a lot. Okay, about this twin flame journey, whether he had the vocabulary or not, but he knew a lot about this journey and who you were to him. He didn't have to have a name. Names mean nothing. Labels mean nothing at the end of the day. I gotta be honest with you. But some of us like to know that if we are in a twin flame journey, we have put ourselves in a room before we gonna get out. We gonna conquer. It's the escape room. For vulgar terms. You know what I want to sing now? Oh my gosh. From Charmed. I am the sun and the air. Right? Of a shyness that is criminally and vulgar. Of something in particular. Or something like that. But, whatever that may mean for you, but I really want to get back on track, is that he knows a lot. He knows his power, and he's not going to believe, even if he knows he's with a karmic partner. I believe by now, today, the majority of divine masculines, of Hierophants, know the person that they've been with, that they chose, bunny ears, is not the one for them. But how are they going to know? In many of my readings, I've stressed this. How are they going to know that it's you? Just from the feeling they get deep within? That's it? Where's the proof? You're on your knees, some of us. Some of us are. Some of us aren't. But hypothetically speaking, we all are. We're all acting as if, like, we can't live without him. For one example, that's one example. If we act like that and he doesn't even feel like he's up to par, how is he ever going to come to you thinking that he can give you everything that you need? I'm telling you, this is a divine journey. Neither of you are going to be set up for failure. You met, and now it's time to understand why it is you felt the way you felt. Does that make sense to you? I challenge everyone to lay out their tools on the table. Understand what it is that makes you feel for this man or for this woman. Understand why some of us never got up off our knees. Understand why some of us never was reborn. Understand why you are still dead. Understand why you can't get up and move. Understand why when you feel like you're moving, you still don't have your conviction in the palm of your hand. If you can't see it, taste it, and feel it, what the hell are you doing? You're going to end up back. And sometimes that's the best thing that we can do, though, is keep replaying it until we know the full words of the song. Until we know the whole song. And then until we can perform it. And then we become our own artists. It's about growth. So I want to make this second video about the difference because I don't want anyone to think that I'm trying to shun anyone. Regardless of my position, I will never come here and say that anyone is less than the other. We are all one. We all have all of this blood flowing through our veins. We all have a counterpart. We all have a soul connection with someone. It's up to us to do with what we do with it. But don't get upset when you take your own route and then you want someone to pick up the pieces. Because I'm not going to pick up any pieces for anybody. I'm not picking up pieces at all. I have my own pieces that I need to work on. And I'm here to learn and to grow with you. When I realize something, I'm going to share it. If you don't like it, please, darling being, please, Martha, unfollow, unsubscribe. Okay? I love you. I love the Divine Feminines. I love the Morph team. I love those who are open-minded. And it's not easy. But we got to work for it. We got to do it. Okay? We got to get up off our knees, man.